6 p.m. West Pakistan time. This is Radio Pakistan. In our series of party political broadcasts, we now present Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, President of the All Pakistan Awami League. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman.
My dear fellow citizens, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. I must begin by offering manajat for those heroic martyrs who shed their blood and laid down their lives for the cause of the people. It is their sacrifices and that of countless thousands who have defied tyranny in movement after movement, leading up to last year's historic mass of sirs that has carried the people's struggle forward. Indeed, even the fact that I am able to speak to you over the national radio and television network may be counted as one of the initial gains of the people's struggle, since up till this time, this privilege was monopolized by those in power. Our struggle must go on, for the real goals lie ahead. Power has to be owned by the people. The exploitation of man by man and of region by region must be brought to an end. The powerful coteries which have ruled Pakistan for long 22 years will do everything possible to prevent transfer of power to the people. It is they who are actively conspiring to frustrate the holding of the general elections, and even after elections, they will continue to obstruct every effort to end exploitation. They have money, they have influence, they have the capacity to use force against the people. History, however, testifies that a determined people can successfully resist and overcome such forces of oppression. The most solemn pledge that our League can make to the people of Pakistan is that we shall stand by their side and indeed lead them in resisting the forces of oppression and exploitation. No people have secured freedom and justice unless they have been prepared to die for it. We therefore serve notice upon the force of reaction in our society that we, along with the people of Pakistan, will confront them, and if democratic forces are obstructed, we shall resist them by every means possible. Our League was born in adversity and has grown in adversity. Our great leader, the late Hussain Shahi Swarwardi, who came into existence to defy the attempt of ruling party to form a one-party state. We thus began the struggle to establish democracy in Pakistan. This struggle continues till this day. Our party has faced onslaught after onslaught from the ruling group. Our leadership, our workers have spent the better part of their lives in jails. We have faced and overcome every form of repression. It is this that gives us the courage and confidence today to commit ourselves to the task of confronting the anti-democratic forces. To overcome the crisis that engulfs the nation, we must resolve those issues which are its cause. The first is the deprivation of political freedom. The second is the sense of economic injustice felt by the overwhelming multitude of our people. The third is the deep sense of injustice created by widening the economic disparity between the regions. It is this that underlies the anguish and the anger of the Bengali people. The same sentiment is reflected among the downtrodden people of neglected areas of West Pakistan. Our manifesto sets out a comprehensive strategy for resolving these fundamental issues. A real living democracy must be established in which all the fundamental freedoms shall be constitutionally granted. Our manifesto outlines a framework for the healthy growth of political parties, trade unions, local self-government. We do pledge to restore complete freedom of the press and academic freedom, and to eradicate corruption, which has grown like a cancer in our society. The present economic system, which has established an intolerable structure of injustice, must be radically altered. Today, barely 24 families have acquired control over 60% of the national industrial assets, 80% of its banking assets, and 75% of its insurance assets. 82% of the total bank advances are concentrated in only 3% of total accounts. The tax structure in existence is of the most regressive in the world. Only 2% of GNP is being realized as direct taxes as against 6% in other developing countries. While oppressive indirect taxes are imposed on such essential commodities as salt, protected markets, tax holidays, huge subsidies in the form of bonus vouchers, credits and grants of foreign exchange, and the artificially low official rate have created a specially favored condition for the growth of monopolies and cartels. Despite nominal land reforms, feudal lords have retained princely estates. They enjoy vast privileges and their prosperity increases, while the lot of the poor peasants becomes more and more desperate. In a bid for survival, there is a movement of people from villages to the cities. According to official estimates, 1/5 of the total labor forces, or about 90 lakhs people, are unemployed. This alarming figure continues to grow. The industrial workers are suffering the full impact of the sharp rise in the cost of living. The cost of living is increasing more rapidly than the increase in money wages. The impact of the unending rise is the cost of living is also acutely felt by school and college teachers, low-paid officers, employees, particularly the fourth-grade employees of government. To turn now to the appalling record of economic disparity, it is seen that during the last 20 years, out of the total revenue expenditure of the government, only about rupees 1,500 crores, that is only 1/5 of the total, was spent in Bengal, as against over 5,000 crores in West Pakistan. Of the total development expenditure during the same period, about rupees 3,000 crores, that is only 1/3 of the total, was spent in Bengal, as against about rupees 6,000 crores in West Pakistan. Over 20 years, West Pakistan has imported goods worth more than rupees 3,000 crores, as against its own foreign exchange earnings of barely 1,300 crores. Imports into West Pakistan have been 3 times the value of the imports into Bengal. It was made possible for West Pakistan to import goods worth rupees 2,000 crore in exchange of its export earnings by allocating to it rupees 500 crores of the foreign exchange earnings of Bengal and allowing it to utilize over 80% of all foreign aid. The record of the field of government services is just as deplorable. About 22 years, Bengalis account for barely 15% in central government services and less than 10% of the defense services. The total economic impact of such discrimination has been that of economy. Bengal today is a state of imminent collapse. Near famine conditions are prevailing in the majority of the villages. Some 17 lakh tons of rice has had to be imported only to save the people from starvation. While inflation has been mounting, those who are worse hit are the poor people of Bengal. The price of essential commodities has been 50% to 100% higher in Bengal than in West Pakistan. The average price of coarse rice in Bengal is rupees 40 to 50 per month, as against 20 to 25 per month in West Pakistan. And of wheat is rupees 30 to 35 per month in Bengal, as against rupees 15 to 20 per month in West Pakistan. Master oil sales in Bengal at rupees 5 per share as against rupees 2 rupees 50 paisa per share in West Pakistan. The gold price is rupees 135 to 140 per tola in Karachi as against rupees 160 to 165 per tola at Dhaka. Even a customs barrier has been imposed against carrying gold from West Pakistan to Bengal. This injustice is the product of management, the economy for 22 years by the central government. The central government is incapable of addressing such injustices. This is born out of the fourth five-year plan. The fourth plan allegation are a confession of the failure of the central government, however powerful it might be to redress past injustices. Our League 6-point program, which is embodied in the 11-point program, presents a rational solution to this problem of the regional injustice. With a central bureaucracy in which Bengalis account for barely 15%, and with the nature of our power structure being what it is, to expect justice from the centralized system of economic management would be to expect the impossible. Attempts to secure larger allegation by political representatives of Bengal and other underdeveloped areas would only aggravate regional tensions and threaten the viability of federal government. The only feasible solution is the reordering of the constitutional structure by giving full regional autonomy to the federating units on the basis of our 6-point formula. Such autonomy, in order to be effective, must include the power of managing the economy. This is why we insist upon federating units having control over monetary and fiscal policy and foreign exchange earnings and other powers to negotiate foreign aid and foreign trade and foreign aid. By giving to the federating units full control over its economic destiny, while entrusting the federal government responsibility over foreign affairs and defense, and subject to certain safeguards, currency, we believe a just federal balance will be attained. Our federal scheme envisages the abolition of all Pakistan services and its replacement by federating services in which persons shall be recruited on the basis of population for all parts of Pakistan. We also believe that the maintenance of militia or paramilitary forces by federating units will effectively contribute towards national security. This federal scheme, by removing the source of doubts, distrust, and discrimination, will ensure a strong Pakistan. This scheme will understandably be opposed by those in our region who would like to treat another region as a colony or a market. We believe, however, that this scheme will have the full support of the common man of Bengal and West Pakistan. Within this constitutional framework, we believe it will be possible to bring about a social revolution through the democratic process and to create a socialistic economic order free from exploitation. Rapid economic growth is an imperative necessity in order to meet the needs of our growing population. To achieve it, enormous effort and sacrifices are required to our people. Our people can be expected to respond to our call for making a brave collective effort only if we can assure them that the burden of sacrifices as well as the fruits of economic prosperity shall be equitably shared among all sections of the people and all regions of the country. To ensure these certain radical changes must be made in the structure of our economy. We believe it is imperative to place key areas of the economy, including banking and insurance, under public ownership through nationalization. Future development in these areas should take place in the public sector. In the new order, workers should share in the equity capital and management of the industrial enterprises. The private sector also, in its own sphere, must make their full contribution to the economy. Monopolies and cartel must be totally eliminated. The tax structure must be made truly progressive and drastic restriction must be imposed